We're coming to the end of February and creeping up on March, which means everything for the sport of basketball at Marquette.
And we've got much more than just hoops on the show today, so let's go. Hello and welcome to the Golden Eagle Sports Report. I'm Michael Beiermeister.
And I'm Mike Cianciolo. Marquette men's basketball opened the week with a primetime matchup at the BMO Harris Bradley Center on ESPN's Big Monday stage. The number 22 Golden Eagles hosted the number 12 Syracuse Orange for the last time as members of the Big East Monday night. Right out of the gates, the Orange's Michael Carter-Williams gets to the rack for a Dwight Howard-esque dunk to put Syracuse up 2-0 just 17 seconds into the contest. Later in the first half, CJ Fair receives the inbound pass and flushes it home for the one-hand jam. That tied the game at 14-all. On the break for Marquette, as Junior Cadogan finds Jake Thomas open behind the arc, he pops the tray, gets fouled, and nets the triple. He'd go to the line and sink the free throw for the 4-point play. MU trims an 8-point deficit to 4, making it 25-29. Marquette put in work offensively in the second half as Todd Mayo hits the three from the top of the key to make it a 3-point game. Working it around on offense, Mayo dribbles and finds Jamil Wilson on the baseline, who feeds the streaking Devontae Gardner and collects 2 of his career-high 26 points on the lay-in. Wilson, trying to get a shot off, gets it to Mayo, who connects from downtown as the shot clock expires. The sophomore guard puts MU up 59-55 with just under 4 minutes to play. That would prove to be the dagger as Marquette takes down Syracuse at home 74-71. We go now to our own Shawnee Smith, who was at the game.
The atmosphere was intense and the crowd was electric in the BMO Harris Bradley Center Monday as Marquette welcomed the Syracuse Orange for their last matchup during the regular season as fellow members of the Big East Conference. It was a constant battle down to the wire, but Devontae Gardner was the key to success for the Golden Eagles as he finished with a career high of 26 points to win a thriller over the Orange 74-71.
Devontae understands space as well as anybody. Those offensive rebounds he got amidst really talented players were huge. And I think against their zone, he understands where the gap is. Maybe it's at the logo, maybe it's at the nail hole, maybe it's at the pro lane. He just understands space, and I think obviously he did a really good job.
Gardner went a perfect 7 of 7 from the floor and 12 of 13 from the free throw line. However, he was not the only big contributor off the bench as the Golden Eagles reserves tallied in 55 points compared to Syracuse's 25.
Can we win without Jake's shot? Can we win without Todd's shots and steal? Can we win without Devontae's great offensive rebounds, free throw makes, without Steve's offensive rebounds and steals? It's a collection, it's a conglomeration.
Marquette's 24 home game win streak ranks them second in the NCAA Division I. Jamil Wilson gives credit to the student body for making the BMO Harris Bradley Center a special place to play.
It's huge, man. The support we get from everyone here is just great. Our fans, our fellow students, they come out and they support us no matter what. I mean, it could be cold outside. They'll be camping out if it's a big game. You know, they come. Homework the next day, whatever it may be, you know, they make us a priority to come and support us. So, you know, what can we do? You know, our best thing that we can do to them is give them a win.
Marquette's perfect home record hangs in limbo as they return to action Saturday to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to celebrate National Marquette Day. Reporting from the BMO Harris Bradley Center, Shawnee Smith, MUTV Sports.
Marquette looks to defend their 24-game home winning streak as they take on number 21 ranked Notre Dame in the final home game of the season. Coming off 2 big wins over Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, Notre Dame is ranked second nationally in assists per game, averaging 17.7 dishes. Now let's head over to Sean Owens, who's with our analysis team. Sean?
Thanks, Michael. I'm here with Haley and Katie. Girls, Marquette went on the road at Villanova on Saturday and lost to a mediocre Villanova team, though it is a road game in the Big East, very hard to win. Then they come back and knock off 11th-ranked Syracuse. You know, what are going to be the keys for Marquette, looking past Notre Dame a little bit, even though they don't, we're going to. What are going to be the keys for Marquette to beat Rutgers and St. John's on the road heading into the Big East tournament?
I mean, I think everybody can agree that, you know, Marquette is great home. And I think the 2 biggest things are going to be, you know, turnovers and free throws. You know, when Marquette's away, they never shoot better than 70% from the line. And when they're home, they shoot better than 80% normally. You know, in big games, free throw percentages it's a really big deal, you know, and turnovers are a major factor. In games like Louisville and Villanova, you know, turnovers impact the outcome of the game. You know, in the Villanova game, they had 19 turnovers, which is crazy. And, you know, it was a similar story all season. But, you know, if Marquette wants to win, they need to limit the turnovers, and they need to capitalize on their free throw opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Marquette this year isn't a team that has, you know, one or two players that can continuously score and continuously help out the team. So when they play as a team and, you know, put everything together, you know, passing the ball is key, giving it to Gardner, penetrating the defense, getting those free throws. They were 83% on the line last night. So, you know, getting those are really going to help them out. You know, they're really good home because we have that team spirit all the time, but away they just need to keep their energy up, keep staying aggressive, and I think they're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we have for Marquette men's basketball. Let's send it to Michael and Michael back in Studio 6.
Thanks, Sean. We're heading to a break, but when we come back, we focus on women's basketball. Last Wednesday, the Marquette's women's basketball team would look to rebound from a brutal loss to Notre Dame by taking on the St. John's Red Storm. The ladies shaking out all their pregame jitters as they would prepare for a strong St. John's squad. Catherine Plouffe would start off the action early for the Golden Eagles as she takes a few dribbles for the textbook jumper. Game all tied up at 30. MU up by 2 now as St. John's Amber Thompson pulls back and sinks the J to make it an even 36. Plouffe would respond for Marquette by driving into the paint for the nice layup. She would finish with 14 points and 7 boards. Moments later, Arlisha Morse drives to the hole uncontested for an easy 2. Golden Eagles up 42-41. And then St. John's Shanika Smith puts it off the glass to take the lead. And then Nadira McKenneth puts St. John's up by 5, cruising past the helpless MU defense. MU down 9 now as Morse would fly past her defender for another layup to close the gap. But the run was short-lived. As St. John's, Brianna Brown would just overpower the MU defense to extend the lead to 9 again. St. John's up 57-48. Morse would respond once more from downtown, but it wouldn't be enough as Marquette would fall to St. John's 67-61. Now, Coach Terry Mitchell would have some uplifting words for the tough loss.
I thought it was an outstanding Big East basketball game in every way. I mean, it was competitive, it was fiery, it was back and forth, and I thought we rebounded the ball extremely well. Thought we did a much better job in the second half taking care of it. Obviously, we know how much that hurt us because that was the majority of St. John's offense was off our turnovers. Thought we were much more controlled. But at the end of the day, if you look at their shooting percentage in the second half, 59%, and the way they were scoring the paint, that was us letting them get by us, helping over, and they were dishing. So great job for their part to find the open person. But I thought we fought extremely hard, and that we did everything we could to try to win a game.
One Lady Golden Eagles player made history in the game against St. John's. With 6 minutes and 49 seconds left in the game, senior forward Serena Simmons became the 22nd player to score 1,000 points in her career at Marquette. Hear what this individual milestone means to the Milwaukee, Wisconsin native.
It means a lot. It's a great accomplishment. As an individual, something I could look back on after my years of playing in Marquette and just be proud that I excelled at something and being part of a great team, great organization.
With injuries to Gabby Minix and Courtney Thomas, the Lady Golden Eagles have turned to freshman Brooklyn Pumroy to be the team's floor general.
MU TV Sports' Shawnee Smith takes a closer look on Pumroy's progression this season.
Freshman point guard Brooklyn Pumroy has taken on quite an unexpected role on the women's basketball team this season after the injury of Gabby Minix. Despite her lack of college experience, she feels extremely honored to be playing for a Division I team.
It's pretty exciting, actually. It really is. You know, especially being in the Big East and playing for Marquette. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, and you know, I'm proud of it. So, I wasn't expecting to be playing as much as I am, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm working my hardest to try to affect the game as much as possible.
Pumroy expressed that it hasn't been an easy road over the course of the season. However, both her and Coach Terry Mitchell believe that she has great potential in the future.
I think I've done pretty well at, watching film and listening to everything Terry has to say and learning a lot from Tyler, and I think that's helped me out quite a bit. Just being able to get the time on the court and just getting used to the college game, that'll help me out a lot too. So.
Well, with our injuries to our guards, we've put a lot on her, and they've asked her to handle the ball and distribute the ball and look to score and run the plays and defend, and her head is spinning. But the way she's evolved is she's become a student of the game. She watches film all the time. She's extremely coachable. She's a fighter, and so I guess what she's evolved in is a player that understands what it takes to play at the highest level. She's had good games, she has other games she has struggled, but she always keeps coming back and she keeps fighting in everything she does. So love her growth. We probably won't see the fruit of that until next year when she understands that much more what it takes. But I think the thing that I love about her most is that she just will do whatever it takes to help our team succeed.
Reporting from the campus of Marquette University, Shawnee Smith, MUTV Sports.
All right, ladies, we're going to dive right into it. Marquette women's basketball is 12-14. They've kind of had a disappointing season, a lot due to injuries. They're on the road tonight at Providence. What can they do to kind of salvage a season, maybe get above 500 for the rest of the season?
Well, I think it's important to remember that this team is so young, having 6 freshmen. What they need most is experience, but that's just not going to happen because these young people just aren't comfortable with the chaos that goes along with college basketball. So the talent's there. Morris having 18 points and Simmons finishing with 16 points last week at St. John's. So just staying focused throughout the entire game and finishing strong is really what they need. It wasn't the case for Notre Dame, but I think they can do it if they just put their mind to it and really work hard.
Yeah, and to go along with focus, you gotta keep their opponents off the line. That was a major thing, especially throughout the whole season. They would go and foul, and they would be in the double digits all the time, and that's a real problem. They need to be able to play clean, smart defense while still applying that high pressure.
You speak a little bit about seniority, Katie. They have Serena Simmons. She scored 1,000 points against Rutgers, but she's a senior. So how do the Golden Eagles replace such a key scorer next season?
Well, I think personally this kind of reminds me of last year losing DJO and Jay Crowder. I think they just need to know that they're not going to have that reliable player. They need to work as a team, and these freshmen are getting more experience, so I think they're going to step up. Morris, I know they're looking for them to be better next year and everything like that. So just practice and experience.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. I do think that Arlisha Morris is a strong shooter. She, during multiple occasions, has definitely stepped up and, been the second leading scorer, if not the leading scorer. So I think she's someone who can make things happen.
Yeah. All right, well, that's enough for women's basketball. We're going to toss an alley-oop over to Michael and Mike in Studio 6. Guys.
Thanks, Sean. Get your sticks and rackets ready. When we return, we're talking men's and women's lacrosse and tennis. Welcome back to the Golden Eagle Sports Report. The women's lacrosse team hosted its first ever home game at Valley Field Saturday afternoon. The 1-1 Lady Golden Eagles took on the 1-0 Duquesne Dukes. Number 12 in white, Claire Costanza, will find the back of the net at the 25-minute marker to tie the game up at 1 apiece for Marquette. Duquesne's Lip Lowry was a handful for Marquette all game long as she scores one of her 3 goals in the game here. Another player to record a hat trick for the Dukes was Caitlin Prince, who gets the goal there. The Duquesne duo nearly outscored the entire Golden Eagle squad Saturday. Down 7-3, Costanza finds Lisa Beltramello, who gets her only goal of the game there. MU now down 3 with 23 minutes left to play. Duquesne's Prince ready for the free position shot. She throws the ball in the back of the net and puts the Dukes up 8-5 with just over 20 minutes left in the game. Marquette now with a free position shot, and that's Emma Kern who converts and makes it a 7-9 game. MU would not get the score any closer than that as they give up 2 more goals and suffer their first ever home loss to Duquesne 11-7. Our own Mark Freund has the recap from Valley Fields.
Marquette's Golden Eagles! Saturday, Marquette was officially introduced to women's lacrosse as the Golden Eagles took on Duquesne at Valley Fields in the program's first ever home game. And it was cold, and sure, the Golden Eagles faced a tough challenge against the Dukes, but head coach Meredith Black described it in just one way.
Everyone at Marquette worked so hard to make this perfect, and it was perfect.
Perfect, except for one thing. Marquette lost, falling to Duquesne in its inaugural home contest, 11-7.
I thought, as usual, we didn't give up, which is good for us. You know, they're a really well coached team. They're a really strong team. So we knew we had a tough fight coming into this game, but you know, I thought we did some good things. I thought we showed some of what we are, and I'm happy with that.
Duquesne controlled the ground ball opportunities, turned the ball over less than Marquette, and fired more shots than the Golden Eagles. And Coach Black thinks that the Dukes' composure put them in a position to beat Marquette on Saturday.
I think they had a little more composure. They had some good composure with the ball. You know, they're smart and they're more established, obviously, so they were able to control the ball a little bit better than us. And I think, you know, at times we just lost a little bit of composure.
Coach Black also noted that Marquette's inexperience hurt them. All things told, however, the Golden Eagles' almost perfect day, in Black's eyes, was still a very exciting step forward for this brand new program.
It was a great day, and it was a great environment for our home game, and I think we had a good turnout, and I'm happy with that.
Reporting from Valley Fields, Mark Freund, MUTV Sports.
The Marquette men's lacrosse team headed down to Columbus on Saturday to take on the Ohio State University in their first ever Division I lacrosse game. The Golden Eagles fell to a sold-out Ohio State crowd 18-8. MU attackman Brian Battalato and Tyler Melnick both had 2 goals to lead the Golden Eagles. Coach Amplo stressed the importance of face-offs after the tough loss.
You know, it's a game of runs, and lacrosse momentum is unbelievably important. They were able to mostly control the face-offs. The face-off stats were about 50-50, and that's where we want to be. We want to try and be at 55%, 56% is a pretty good number for us. But when you look into the stats, the timeliness of their wins, they won the first 3 faceoffs of the first half, they go up 3-0. They win the first 3 faceoffs of the second half, they go on a 3-goal run. So we weren't able to stop their run by getting possession.
All right, we're talking Marquette lacrosse here. Ladies, both teams, men's and women's, they fell in their first inaugural games. To be expected, you know, 2 inaugural teams, brand new to Division I competition. What can they look to improve on as they move forward in their spring season?
Well, you know, they need to finish shots. That's major. And they need to shoot more. You know, the men only shot 28 to Ohio State's 40, and the women shot, I think it was 19 to Duquesne's 33. And that's a problem. I mean, if you don't score, or if you don't shoot, you can't score. You know, and both men and women did also have trouble with ground balls, and they had a real problem with turnovers. You know, the men had 15 turnovers to Ohio State's 8. And, you know, lacrosse is a game where controlling the ball is key. There's no shot clock. It's not like basketball where you have to shoot it in 35 seconds, you know? It's all about possession. Whoever possesses the ball for longer is going to win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to go off of your points, I think really just keeping their hopes high, you know, playing strong. They don't have anything to live up to. So, you know, doing whatever they want, testing things out, it's really going to help them figuring things, what works, what doesn't, you know, like you said, passing the ball as much as possible, shooting, everything. It just in total needs to work out better. But I don't think right now they're going to be that great, but later on this season I think they'll do a lot better, you know, once they figure things out, weather gets a little warmer, everything like that will help them in the future.
All right, well, thanks, Katie and Haley. We're going to shoot it over to Michael and Mike.
Thanks, Sean. Marquette tennis had a busy weekend.
That they did. We'll look at the women's squad first, who was in Iowa to take on the Hawkeyes Saturday. Marquette would lose on the road to Iowa 5-2 as they cannot muster a win in any of their 3 doubles matches and fall in 4 of their 6 singles matches. Sophomore Anna Pimienta played a stellar match at the #1 singles spot and defeated the Hawkeyes' nationally ranked player Ruth Seaborn 7-5 and 6-3.
Heading over to men's tennis now, as the doubles team of Dan Mamelet and Vukasin Tefanovic would take on Lucas Wack and Eric Honert of Valparaiso. Serves up for Valpo as we see some nice volleying until MU's Tefanovic puts a little tap in for the point. Tefanovic serving now, as he would do it all on this volley, responding to everything Valpo hit at him, and I mean everything. Mamelet would get a nice return, but Tefanovic would claim most of the glory as MU would sweep Valpo all around the globe in singles and doubles, and the final score, MU 7, Valpo 0.
Looking to remain undefeated at home and improve to 7-0 on the year at the Hellfair Tennis Stadium, Steve Roadcap's bunch took on the Toledo Rockets in non-conference action Saturday evening. We look at Court 3's action between Marquette's Logan Collins and Toledo's Francisco Stuardo. Collins got the point there, and then returning the service, Collins' eyes get big as he crushes the lob ball for another point. But his fortune would soon turn. After the serve and return, Collins will hit the net and loses a point. On the serve again, Collins and Stuardo going back and forth, and Stuardo just overpowers Collison to get the point. Collins would lose his singles match 5-7 and 4-6. To Court 6 we go for the matchup with David Pakowitz and Bryant Dudzik. MU's Pakowitz starts off strong, getting the point there. He then fails to send the backhand over the net. It was a hard-fought battle for Pakowitz, but he would also fall 4-6 and 6-3. Dan Mamelot and Cameron Tarani win points for MU, but the rest of the singles matches and the doubles point go to Toledo, and the Golden Eagles fall to the Rockets overall 5-2. Coming up, we have an exclusive live interview with a Marquette athlete.
And stick around to see who it is. And now the moment of truth, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Our own Pat Leary is in Studio 7 with a special member of the Golden Eagle family. Take it away, Pat.
I'm with Golden Eagles volleyball senior defensive specialist, Rachel Stier. And Rachel, just started the off-season for you guys. How's practice going? How's the team looking after the departures of the seniors? How's it going?
You know, practice is going great. We spring is a time to really work on individual technique and focusing on the little things that we don't get to work on in the season. So it's good to relearn some new things and get new people involved.
Sure. So big change for you guys this offseason. You lost your two primary assistant coaches, and now you brought in Jackie Simpson and Jason Allen to work with you guys for the foreseeable future. How has that transition been, and how are you getting along with them? How have they been for you so far?
You know, it's been a great transition. It's different, but it's supposed to be different. You know, it's a new change, and it's a good change. And I've been working a lot with Jason. He's a defensive coach. So I spent a lot of time with him, and he's just learning the ropes. We're learning from him, so
sure.
It's working good.
Has he brought anything different to the program than the previous defensive coach did?
Yeah, he's brought in some different drills. He takes our technique and puts a little twist on it, and it's working, so.
Okay. Looking forward to the spring schedule. You guys play Milwaukee, you play Northwestern, you have a couple of tournaments. Those games don't count, but what can you guys take from them to build to when the games actually do count?
Well, we want to win every game, so that's our main goal. And I know when we play Milwaukee and Northwestern, those are teams we usually face in the fall. So it's always good to have a victory over them. And the spring is just a time to rebuild. We have new people in, old people out, and we just compete as hard as we can.
All right, good luck in the spring, and we'll send it back to Mike.
Thanks, Pat. That will do it for this edition of the Golden Eagle Sports Report.
For our analysis, Sean Owens, Katie Murray, and Haley Keith, a special thanks to Pat Leary and Rachel Stier, and my co-host, Mike Cianciolo. I'm Michael Beiermeister. You stay warm, Marquette.